Assalamu alaikum. This is me, RJ Muhammad Hasnain. The only way to be safe from the spreading of coronavirus is to stay at homes, avoid social gatherings, and stay in distance of 1 meter. And also wash your hands again and again. Thank you.
Hello friends, I would like to show you our school. This is our school signboard. Inside of our school, friends, this is a solar school. You can see our solar. This is all beautiful. You can see the flowers. It's a green school. We would like to show you the computer lab. Hello teacher. Yes, this is the computer lab. You can see all the kids are learning different programs. So, hello Isanda, what are you doing?
I'm listening to
Yes. What would you like to say about Taj family?
Long live Taj family.
Hello? Yes, what would you like to?
Thank you, Mama Line for seeds.
Yes, Mr. Hussain.
Mama Line, you are so kind.
I will support you and the Taj family, and we are proud to be working with you and also working under your leadership. Thank you so much.
Hello, I am Dr. PPP. I am the Celebrity Guru award-winning author of the book, You Are the Celebrity. I'm the marathon man who ran only 13 marathons by God's grace and your blessings. I'm the Himalayas Guru climbing the Everest, the Himalayas by God's grace and your blessings. If the Celebrity Guru can write, so can you. If the marathon man can run, so can you. If the Himalayas Guru can climb, so can you. Life is the movie, you are the celebrity. Life is a celebration, you are the celebrity. Life is the marathon, you are the marathoner. Life is the book, you are the author. Life is the mountain, you are the mountaineer. I'm the #1 international bestseller and the Magnetic Entrepreneur award-winning author of the book, Magnetic Entrepreneur, a personality that attracts. And the Guinness World Record #1 international bestseller of the book Mountaineer. And the Magnetic Entrepreneur Award world renowned. I served in the Canadian Army as the engineer by God's grace and your blessings. I'm showing this award and reward not to impress you, but to impress upon you. If I can do it, so can you. And I am humbled, honored, privileged, blessed, and super excited to introduce you, the man who is full of spirituality, the man who's been to India 3 times in search of spirituality, the man who's been with a yogi for so many years, and the man, my personal favorite, I know this man doesn't like it, but I'm going to share it anyways, the man who dated two Bollywood sisters, Dimple Kapadia and Simple Kapadia. Rest in peace, Simple Kapadia. And Dimple Kapadia, who married Bollywood's first superstar, Rajesh Khanna. So, without further ado, help me welcome at Torch Peace Conference 2021, the annual event on Torch week from July 11 to July 17th. And today is the final day of Torch Peace Conference 2021. None other than all the way from California, USA, my soul brother, none other than Mr. Kurt Kruger. Namaste, Kurt Kruger.
Namaste, aap kaisa hai?
And heaven, alhamdulillah, by God's grace and your blessings. And बहुत अच्छा है, आप कैसा है?
Bahut acha, yeah. And no, I haven't used Hindi regularly in many years because living in India, I picked a bit up. Of course, I could eat easily and so on, and order things. But it's such a beautiful language too, especially Sanskrit.
Oh man, that's the oldest language, the language of gods and goddesses. And you also picked up Sanskrit too. Not only Hindi, you picked up Sanskrit. And when you speak Hindi, Urdu and Hindi is same in speaking, man. So you know Urdu how to speak, Sanskrit how to speak. Wow, man, you're the master of multi language. Yeah, man.
I can speak a few different things in different languages, but it doesn't mean that I can really speak the language. I know only one language. I'm one of those ignorant Americans. When I say that, most Americans, 90% of Americans, have never left America. The 10% that have left America have gone to Mexico or Canada. There's 1% have gone elsewhere.
Wow. So out of 100% American, only 1% been to outside of North America. That's what you mean. Wow.
Correct.
That's like shocking, man. That's shocking, like world's most powerful country, the world's most wealthy country, and the people of that country, man, 1% been to outside of North America, man. That's shocking, man. Why? Why? Kurt, why?
That's a good question. Well, we have a big country for one thing, and we do have a lot of nice things to see in it. It's like any country does.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And everyone is special. Every country that I've ever been, I've only been to 30 countries.
Only. Like you learned my style, man. I said only 13 marathons. Only 30 countries.
I've only been to a few countries in Africa. I haven't been to South America and Antarctica. Those are the two continents I haven't been to, but I'm ready to go. There's 3 places I want to go before passing on to another side. I want to go to Bhutan.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Antarctica. And outer space.
What's the third one?
Outer space.
Oh, outer space. Obviously, man. May God fulfill all the 3 wishes, man. Yeah, all the 3 wishes.
If Richard Branson is listening, he can put me on a ship. I would actually prefer the money that would be spent on what they're doing to go off into space, be spent to help humanity thrive, supporting the Peace Lab and all the different kinds of areas that we can bring peace to the world, from education to economics to in prison systems and so on and so forth. We in America incarcerate so many people. Millions and millions of people we put into prison here. We don't try to rehabilitate them. It's our way of keeping slave labor. Most people don't know what happens in prisons. With the people that have been put into what they call not relocation camps, that was for the Japanese after the war. Before the war, or during the World War II. We never called them prison camps. But the guns were pointed in, not out.
Good. Continue with this one, but still focus your camera, because what I see is below from here, nobody able to see your forehead. There you go. Yeah, man, look at your beautiful forehead, man. I was missing it. My celebrity were missing it. Torch family from all over the world missing it. Now continue with the war, and yeah, man, take it away, brother.
Well, I'm almost doing a few things at once because that's my propensity. I'm a polymath, and as a polymath, I have knowledge about a lot of different things, so I tie them together. That's why our company is called Success Systems International.
International, yes. .net.
The Peace Lab is also not inhibited because it looks at life as a complete system.
Mhm.
And when we do that, we model after nature. And nature is a lot wiser than we are. It's lasted a lot longer. We are so egotistical.
Oh yeah.
We think we're the big
We
thing.
know we are the smart people, we know everything. Oh my God, nature knows a lot than us. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I can talk all day about how to, when we approach a religion, every single religion, the basis of the religion is love.
Absolutely. There you go. Love is God. God is love. Love is Allah. Allah is love, man. Love is Jesus. Jesus is love. Period. That's it, man. If
And
every
when you look
religious
at
people, yeah, go ahead.
when you look at that love, it brings forth everything else. Now, when you look at anything else that comes up, if it isn't loving, if it isn't peaceful, then see how it can be made more peaceful. Like we had some people come on that didn't feel peace in their heart. That's why they came on. They wanted to feel peace. And we get to be able to experience an opportunity to continue to love and to be able to continue to communicate in a peaceful way. Otherwise, we begin to act like them.
Absolutely. And
Life for an eye, for a
yes,
tooth.
I'm going to stop you here. We are going to continue, but let's welcome our, this is the amazing personality. I have a chance to connect for like so many years, like maybe 3+ years, and this is our Torch Ambassador of the Year from current month, July 2021 to July 2022. The torch was passed from, I was the third one of, Torch Ambassador of the Year from July 2020 to July 2021, and now this torch and this recognition passed by Mamalin and by the people and by the Torch family to Fatima Aziz. So this is Fatima Aziz all the way from Dil, Pakistan. Amazing celebrity teacher, amazing knowledge, amazing having the knowledge of Islam as well as respect for another religions too. So without further ado, help me welcome Torch Princess, fabulous Fatima Aziz, the Torch Ambassador of the Year of all the 4 pillars: peace, health, environment, and technology. None other than from Dil, Pakistan, one and only Fatima Aziz. Take it away, Fatima, and introduce yourself, please.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bibi. You gave me the very good introduction of me, so there is no need to introduce myself. Can you hear me?
Speak
Loud
if
and
you
clear,
speak up,
yes.
yes.
Okay. So I am Fatma Aziz myself. I am from Pakistan, Karachi. I am the basically preschool facilitator, even coordinator and parent consultant, and the social activity. And I'm working on my community in my area. I'm starting from working on the library, start from my social work to activate the libraries, public libraries for the people. Unfortunately, in what is happening in my area or who's eternally, the people is away from the book. The reading habits become less and less. So I started my work from to create the reading activity for my students. So I use the public libraries. The purpose for these activities to be mingle the students and they explore the library, the local library in our area. So how it's work and how they can get the benefit to borrow the book, like this whole the process they will learn if they are going to the library. And I'm also taking the awareness, create the awareness among the people regarding to the environment and the education, and use about the volunteer, who are the volunteer and how the people can utilize their free time for the for the society and for the community. So I'm conducting the yoga classes, so martial art classes for the community students. So many people that because of the corona, yeah, the self defense is the very necessary. The all about to if we want to get the 100% result in the 100% result in the academics. So we need to be engaged our student in the physical activity. This is a very necessary. So I observe this thing. If we want to be make them student cool and calm, to make them discipline among the students, to make them the responsible citizen, so the physical activities, the yoga, the self defense, or the any type badminton, any sports will help them to be. So before corona, I am in a one day I am taking the outdoor activity for my students. So it is you know, if you are belong to UK and another country, so these things may be usually part of the student's life, but in Pakistan usually schools don't give the importance. So I plan these classes, and I'm you know, convinced by management, any school management, so they are not agree whole day student spend, yeah, half day they spend the physical or outdoor activity. But I alhamdulillah,
May I make an offering for you right now, Fatima? In a school, when children are sitting too long, their brain gets to be like jello. It's sort of, there's not much synapse happening. And so what happens to be able to change that is that physical activity. You can stand up at your seat and just do a simple cross crawl movement with the breath. And it only has to take 15 to 30 seconds. Let me stand to the side and see if I can demonstrate. The knee up as you breathe out, and as you come standing up, you breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in. Breathe out, breathe in. And when you do that, it opens all the three main centers of the brain, but also connects the synapse between the left and the right hemisphere of the neocortex. It oxygenates the body. This is like pranayama and yoga, as you know yoga. So this pranayama also calms the heart rate, calms the brain waves, so it's a concentration technique also. When we oxygenate the body, the one organ in the body that uses the most oxygen is the brain. So when you get a chance to explain it like this to the students, they're learning biology, they're learning physiology, they're learning yoga, they're learning concentration, they're learning so much in this simple explanation. And it's so valuable at any level. This is used in boardrooms in places that I work. When I've worked for Bajaj Electricals in India, you know, Shekhar Bajaj, who's the head of, actually I worked with him as well as his father, Ramkrishna Bajaj.
Wow.
These people were wise enough to be able to take that, which I was able to offer them in a way that made sense for them, to bring spirituality into their business, to bring good character development into the business, to get more social skills interacting, because without social skills, that's where conflict happens.
Absolutely, absolutely. I totally agree. And let's welcome our new guest, Kurt. Sorry to cut you in the middle. This
Raja.
is my buddy. This is my Baijan, all the way from Dildal, Pakistan. And his last name is Arshad, but I said, man, let's go with Raja Pakistani. And then he branded the way Raja Pakistani. And he has given the Pakistan like 20 plus years of his life in politics. He has so much amazing, beautiful celebrity, golden and platinum heart, and he's the celebrity humanitarian, and he's the amazing humanitarian I have ever met in my life, and sometimes we talk hours and hours, during night, during daytime. So without further ado, help me welcome none other than Raja Pakistani. Assalamu alaikum, Raja Bhaijan.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम, थैंक यू वेरी मच, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आप सबका. लव यू मिस्टर कर्ट, एंड my sweet sister Fatima, how are you? And above all is my Guruji, that is Dr. PPP. Thank you very much for invitation. And I am a bit busy. I have got some guests right now in my house, so I have to attend them. That's why I would not be available for more time. So thank you very much for all your efforts. You are doing great. You are doing very well, and I hope so. People across the globe are learning and listening and developing and growing with all of your efforts. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Sure,
for
Baba
being
Shukriya,
the voice
and
of-
Jazakallah, and wish you all the best. Have lots of great time with your relatives or your friends, and see you tomorrow morning, Pakistan time from 7 a.m. to 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. or Pacific time tonight, which is 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Pacific. That's the last of our spiritual, to watch peace finale. That's the last. 2 hours. So definitely take care. Allah Hafiz and Bada Shukri Raja Sahib. Join
Thank
connect.
you. Thank you.
Love
Cheers.
you. Thank you. Yes, continue, sir. Sorry for that. Cut.
Oh, there's no worries. I just love life so much. When you have love for it, we think we have to be a certain way. Well, all that make each of us different. So when we express our own personality, that's what we're here for. He made this. There's not a single thing on the planet that is the same. Look at this idea of these snowflakes. How many are they? And they're all different. And so on and so forth. So we get to be able to be honoring his creation. We get to be able to be serving his creation. It's a gift. So we get to be a gift.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yes, Fatima. Would you love to add anything or would you love to share anything?
Yeah. Sorry, अभी देख सकते हैं क्या हो रहा है.
Okay.
Yes.
Continue. Yeah, continue, Fatima. Yes.
Yeah, sure. Actually, what I said, I'm talking about my effort to my community. So nowadays during the corona, I'm enjoying a lot with the connect to the community people more, because the people have a lots of time. The schools are on off is going on. Usually people have lockdown is going on. Nowadays it's not a lockdown, but before the couple of week or month, smart lockdown is going on. So usually people have that time. So I observe every child is very have the lovely personality, but they are too much very energetic and emotionally they are reacting. So they become very suddenly they are very happy and suddenly they are very aggressive. So we need to be engage them in the physical activity, so then they will be able to control their emotion. To control the emotion, the mental intelligence, mental health, इसको क्या कहते हैं? Yes, mental development. So we teach them, the student, when you are happy, so you should express, and when you are anger, so try to control your anger, and it moves to change in a positive energy. So we need to be have them, the student, the young learner, to how to be emotionally react. So it's become make them become the strong personality. Yoga mein, but we are doing yoga mein, we are controlling our passions. We are increasing our bearing power, and we will be get the more power to tolerate the things we are able to after, if we are on the daily basis we are doing the yoga or the exercise, so we will take the things very in the reality basis. So we will be take the we will if we will mentally strong, so we will take the good decision, or so definitely it may help them, the student, to create a good relation with their peers, their fellows, with their colleagues, or whatever the people are surrounding them. So it is the the exercise is the key of the happy life. I think so. This is my observation, which I observe. Usually, those people who are doing exercise or yoga, they are very cool and calm, and then have a lots of friends. And also, they are using their intelligence and their wisdom wisely.
Absolutely, I totally agree. Absolutely, yoga. And talking about the yoga, one guru come to my mind. And his name is Baba Ramdev, Swami Baba Ramdev from India. And he always like been to social media too. And teaching the yogas actually. He also and the yoga day also. Baba Ramdev been to Canada. And we did like made the Guinness World Record. Like 10,000 people plus joined together in Canada. In India also, he made the Guinness World Record. Like 100,000 plus people get together with the Prime Minister Mr. Modi, Baba Ramdev on the first yoga day. That was in 2015, July 21st. So yeah, and again, yoga has nothing to do with any religion. You know what I mean? And it's for everybody. You know what I mean? Like it's a gift of God, Allah, Jesus, whatever the faith you believe, to make us mentally, emotionally, physically fit. So we can do more, solve more, and make the world a more beautiful place. Right. And talking about you are the teacher, right? And you've seen today's video too. You've seen this torch school from Pakistan, right? So God gave me this idea, Allah gave me this idea, like why not your school also, let's have the torch school, you can have the torch seeds, and plant those torch seeds. You have an emotional connection, and now whole 1 year you are the taking torch to the next level. So have your school to the torch school, those torch seeds, the torch seeds, organic seeds. Mama Lynn did with that torch seeds. Like parents were there, the school teacher was there, the principals were there. What I mean? Mama Lynn were there. What I mean? So can you imagine the emotions? They were planting those torch seeds. What I mean? Now I don't know. They became big trees or whatnot. What I mean? So think about that one, having your school as the torch school. That school, when I saw the torch school, the finished product you've seen, but when I saw that school first time, I was crying like baby, man. Oh God, like look at these beautiful kids, man. What I mean? And the kids school doesn't have the, door for that room, that classroom. Those kids doesn't have the washroom, man. What I mean? Those kids doesn't know how they are going to get the meal. What I mean? So I was crying like baby, right? And then torch took over, and then there is sunroof, what I mean, and whatnot, right? Torch seeds over there, and everything. So yeah, but like you are the perfect person because new torch inner out everything, what I mean, and you are the one for next 1 year. So that's the thought, got by Allah, and I just shared it. So yeah, make it possible, and yeah, torch is with you, Mama Lane is with you, Kurt is with us, what I mean. So yeah, and you love gardening, you love, yeah, go ahead, Kurt.
The beautiful thing that you're expressing is this social and emotional learning.
Oh, thank you.
This idea of happiness.
Yeah.
Most people really don't know how to be happy. And there's simple things, as you know, if you've ever read the Happiness Advantage or Before Happiness, there's books that are out there. But the main thing is if anybody wants to get in touch with me, is I will send them one sheet that has about 12 different simple things that a person can do, that when you do it, you will become happier. That's why at a place that used to have a lot of fights at the school, because it was what they call an inner city school, didn't have any more fights.
Wow.
Kids 3 years later are doing the homework. Now, kids at the 11 to 14-year-old age in America, in a school like this, do not do homework unless they're the A students.
Mhm.
And who does homework 3 years later? The only reason they do homework 3 years later is because it works for what they want. They want more happiness. They want to be able to have their family happier. They know that it works. So again, if people want to write to me or something through Success Systems International, or they can get the book Winning Ways for Living. It's a simple book. It has a lot of different practices to be able to do body, mind, and spirit that allows you to be all you can be. And no matter what religion you are, it has practices for you to be able to get better tuned to God, to Allah.
Beautiful.
So get you nourished properly, because it talks also about nutrition. And when you fuel your body, research has proven that when you just do supplementation, vitamins and minerals and so on, certain supplementation that is cued to you, it can improve your endurance and strength up to 50%. The good thing for this is the IQ can go up 20 points. That was the maximum, but 20 points is a good, if you're normal IQ and you go up 20 points, you're a genius. And all it is, that was research done down in New Zealand. They presented at the Olympic Scientific Congress, where I was presenting in 1984. That study's been replicated here in America, but with endurance and strength, 50% improvement. My God. And then for people who have these changes in moods, like you talked about, Fatima, mood changes are balanced more with, again, proper nutrition. When you're out of whack nutritionally, your chemistry, the discharge of your brain doesn't work so well, and so on and so forth. So we're a chemical reaction, but we're also more than that. But when you balance that chemical reaction, there's so much that you can do so much better.
Beautiful. Wow. Is that your book, Kurt? Are you the author of that book?
Pardon?
Are you the author of that book, the one you showed right now?
The 2 out of the 4. This was the fourth version. The first 3 was book 1, 2, and 3. And book 1 got to be a bestseller in the first 3 weeks on Amazon.
Beautiful.
Book 4, this one, got to be a bestseller in the first 3 weeks. I did make a mistake about that, and I didn't follow what I usually teach people to do, to go for number 1.
Yes.
And I just thought a bestseller was going to be cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I obviously accepted it, but we can actually, the next book I write, it'll be a number 1 bestseller.
Absolutely. Why not? Absolutely.
Things that I teach people to do.
So you wrote 4 books. Is that true?
Yes.
Oh man, today I came to know that you wrote 4 books, man. Really, to be honest with you, I've been known for so long, but today I came to know that you are the author of 4 books. Wow, man. See, you are hiding, my friend. I know you have so much to give. You are giving. But see, I know you've been known you for so long, man, so many years, right? But see, I'm your buddy, and still I today came to know that you are the author of 4 books.
Okay, I just listened to a woman talking about something that I've been envisioning for all over the world. It's called a World Fest. She's a friend of mine.
Okay.
Who lives in Woodstock. She's from France, actually, and she has a beautiful accent. And I love it.
I love French. Me too, man. Yeah.
We live in Canada, we hear it more than we do here. But so we were flying along the Himalayas in Nepal in a DC-3. Now you can only look out windows like this. That's all the windows at the size of windows. Okay. But as we're flying along these huge mountains that are just so awesome, I mean, twice the size of anything in the contiguous United States, just about. And your mouth is open and you're looking out, and slowly but surely they let people go to the cockpit in those days.
Oh, wow.
Before all these hijackings.
Wow.
And you could look out. This great
man.
panorama. Now, it was like a the window was only this size, but you could panorama view, and everybody's going. I mean, talking about wow, we only had a little bit of time to look, and we happened to be pulled forward at the time when he's turning around. He's turning around at Mount Everest. So he's banking into Mount Everest, and Eveline, this is her name, Eveline Pouget. She says, "Excuse me, Captain, could you get a little closer?" He turns around and can't take his eyes off her. He's going to Mount Everest. Hey! And he goes like this. And he hits Mount Everest. It was like a joyride.
Yeah, exactly.
Scary joyride, but it worked.
Beautiful.
I saw her today on this thing that was on Facebook, on her Facebook page.
Yeah, if you have the picture, man, put it, those pictures, man, are precious, man, right above the Everest or the Himalayas, man. Oh, man.
I gave the picture, actually, I gave all my slides that I took on that in Nepal, and we took a yatra around India, around Bombay to Avanti, Nasik, Trimbakeshwar, a couple other places that are very special in India. And I took pictures all over this place, and I gave them all the slides so that they could be processed. Somehow lost them. So I don't have it, but I have them here, and that's the beauty of life. It's still here.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Like,
I
just experience, you just experience the way you explain, like you relived that, right now, you reached to that plane, you reached to that cockpit, you know what I mean? And the way you explain, not only you, man, you made us realize like we've been already there, you know what I mean? Like with you at the pilot, at the cockpit, you know what I mean? And enjoying the 360 degrees views, the way you explain, man,
Well, that's the key to story, is that instead of seeing a movie, you can tell the story of, let's say, the Emerald Forest, or you tell the story of the Dark Crystal, which is a fantastic movie. It's at the level of the person seeing it. They imagine it with what Ravana looks like, this 10-headed monster, or how Hanuman splits his chest. It isn't gory. It isn't, all this stuff that would look like. So they can see the, quote, violence that is happening from the people send off a mantra, the sky will get on fire, and so on and so forth. It's been a while since I told those stories. It's magical what we create and what happens in the human body. The human body produces neuroendorphins that are brain opiates that make you have an excited experience or a fearful experience. And the juices go down.
Beautiful.
People remember more stories than they do little simple facts.
That's true, because our mind thinks into the picture. So when you share the stories, that's how we learn, about the world and everything, because we learn to hear the stories from our parents, from our holy books, or from our children books, kids books. So that's how our brain started, into the picture. Because when someone tells the story, our brain paint the pictures. We live that experience. You know what I mean? So now we have to master how to present our story. So like all the audience, right now 3 of us, we are alive, we are on the stage, but there are people, they are watching live, they are watching later on. So even though they watch our replay, they feel like, oh my god, like the story like Kurt showed, man, oh my god, I felt like without any my passport, without any my visa, man, I was with the Kurt, I was at a pilot cockpit, man, you know what I mean? And that's the art, you know what I mean? That's the art. Take the pause, share it slowly, steadily, the way like the heart rate, up and down, you know what I mean? When it down, like come from, like you're the master of going forward and back, side to side, you know what I mean, using your hand the way like musical those, you know, director play, you know what I mean, like when they play the instrument, right? Beautifully you're using it, all your senses, all five senses beautifully, man, you know what I mean, Kurt, and hats off to you for that one. And you didn't learn this overnight, man, you know, you mastered, you made maybe mistakes, this, that, what not. Somebody gave this little lesson, you just implemented, oh my god, that's working, what I mean, let me use that one, this one, that one, spirituality, that one, some funny stuff, you know what I mean, something, you know, and it's working beautifully, man.
And the beautiful thing about life for people who, and people think I'm an elder, I feel like I'm only 36, but as an elder, I get to learn from the young, especially maybe one of the best teachers is the connection with God. They are still connected with the awesomeness of having been just with Allah. They are still gazing into, let's say, His eyes, for lack of a better way to express it. And you look down at that child. I don't know anybody that hates a baby. I think everybody opens their heart. The love of that child, it's uninhibited from sharing love. And when we enculturate it with love and wisdom, and discipline, peace, and respect, there's a key to this. Because one of my dad used to do something all the time. Other people do a hand with a ruler, and so on. They could even slap you, and so on. There's no need for violence, because violence breeds violence. And if there's a feeling of getting angry, there's someone else. People say, what's wrong? The caring heart opens up, and we can find out how to even solve the issue. Well, I think you hurt my feelings because of this. Or, oh, I did my finger, or whatever it might be. And we are each a story. People look at us. Every student, another student is somebody obviously to model from. Some of them you hope they model from, and others you hope they model from. But everybody is a model for others, whether it's a good model or a bad model. So when we walk down the street, smiling or saying hi, people feel it so different. So
beautiful. Fatima, come back because I gotta go. You know, there is a conference, sports conference 2021 happening in Pakistan. About 20 plus speakers will be there, and it's gonna start.
Not there?
What's
it's
that?
A conference, and I'm not there. You said
you're in this conference. You know, you're with the torch piece. You're with the torch piece, man. I don't know how come you miss it, man. You know, I always put so many posts about on my face. Even my look at my screen, man. Okay, this is my screen. Okay, this is my Facebook screen. Look at that. It's right there. You know, right there, man. How did you miss it, buddy? You know, yeah. You're the sports person, man. You know, you deserve here, man, as the keynote speaker, man. I tell you, man, you deserve here. Well, so what I'm requesting you, Kurt, is you continue. If you want to continue, share your heart, body, mind, soul at thoughts. When Fatima comes, you know, and when you want to close it, just, you know, you can, you know, kindly go whenever you feel go, or let Fatima is there, you know, let Fatima close it.
Yeah, I do need to go in 15 minutes, yeah.
In 15 minutes, okay. So 15 minutes, and keep sharing your heart, you know, and then kindly, you know, you just, you know, you can just leave yourself from the stream, you know, and that will be fine. Fatima comes, you know, request Fatima to turn off the, you know, links, you know what I mean? Okay, sounds good?
Yes.
I love you, brother. I love you, man. You know, see, torch trust you. You are the torch, man, you know, and you are the you are the one man who appeared most time during this torch piece. All the 6-7 days out of 7 days, man. So, hats up to you. And yeah, torch owe you, brother. Torch owe
Well,
you, brother.
I owe you for being that guy, that great example that you
Yeah,
are.
thank you, man. Always before even links time to start, man, you always say, man, Dr. PPP, send me the link, man. Dr. PPP, yeah, where is the link, man? You know what I mean? So yeah, man, that shows like, how much you are hungry to share your knowledge. Otherwise, man, come on, man, you are like, let's say 60 plus, man, I'm in the California, beautiful country, USA, man, you know what I mean? Let me have a beer or let me go for the golfing or XYZ. But see, you showed up, man, all the 7 days out of 7 days. So hats up to you, brother, and keep sharing your light, man. I'm proud of you. And my celebrity, my torch people, connect with this one, the one, Success International system.net, right?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. And just ask for, his wisdom. Otherwise, he will not going to share it to you for free. You know what I mean? Just ask for it. You know what I mean? Then he will share it for free. You know what I mean? And connect, have him as a celebrity coach, man. And that's it. It's a spirituality, man. He's the amazing man. Very few people I can count in my fingers. That many people know real meaning of spirituality, and you're one of that, buddy. So, yeah, man. Take care and take it away. And I love you, brother. Take care. God bless you.
Cheers. Well, I guess we get to have Wahid here. And Wahid, I'm not sure why it is that you choose to keep posting your name and saying hi. It's unnecessary. We are seeing and feeling each other. Whoever is on right now, when you allow yourself to see and be felt, that brings out whatever it is that we need. And if you need anything, like I said, connect up with successsystemsinternational.net and ask for simple things like the Peacemaker meditation. So if you bend forward, Wahid, and everybody else, have your hands like as if you're holding a tray and bending forward. And as you breathe in while you repeat something, but breathe in and bring your hands towards your heart like this as you say, peace in everything. Everything with peace as you bend forward, as you breathe out. Peace in everything as you breathe in. Everything with peace. Peace in everything. Everything with peace. This allows the body to remember. It has muscle memory. Peace in everything. Everything with peace. This muscle memory will come to you as you do even exercises, like I do water aerobics. And peace in everything, when I push out, I'm breathing out, I'm saying everything with peace. As I'm breathing in peace in everything. As I'm pushing the water, I'm breathing out and I'm saying everything with peace. Peace in everything, everything with peace. So you can do it throughout your day. You can do, possibly depending on how fast you walk, you can cadence it with your steps. So maybe the right foot is peace in everything, everything with peace. Peace in everything, everything with peace. Like you can rock back and forth to the side. It can be peace in everything when you go to the right, everything with peace to the left. Peace in everything, everything with peace. This muscle memory also enlivens the things called the microphysia of the muscles. So inside your body is getting neurological connections alive. And that's what needs to happen. The nerves of the heart, the neurological nerves of the heart, communicate more strongly than the brain waves do to the heart. The heart is a super valuable organ, but it's also the location of a center of your body that is so effective at bringing peace. That's why we do peace in everything, everything with peace. Peace in everything, everything with peace. And should you like to, you can do this at any time of day. Normally, people to get ready for bed will meditate a little bit, bring peace to your mind before you go to sleep, because you might have had some crazy things that happen in the day. Your mind may be a little troubled. Why go to sleep troubled? It may attract some other kinds of dreams when you can have beautiful dreams doing peace in everything, everything with peace. This allows us to radiate that energy out. Our energy field gets bigger. They take pictures of your energy field using Kirlian photography. There's other ways to take images of your energy field. And when you puff your energy up using positive thoughts, your energy goes out. When you think negative thoughts, you see how the shoulders droop and you don't have hardly any energy. And we love energy. So we get to change our position, our physical position. It opens the chest so that we can breathe easier. Your lungs are not saying, give me some space here, please. That's why you breathe out when you bend forward, so the lungs don't get too massaged. And you breathe in when you're bending back. Everything with peace, peace in everything. Everything with peace. Magic happens when you choose to create magic. When we choose. See, words are super important, super valuable. Why? Well, in one of the world scriptures, it said the word was made flesh. Most people believe that was Jesus. Well, it may have been Jesus, but when you are made flesh, you're a vibration that God condensed into that form. When you look at it in physics, in biology, in all the different sciences that study human beings, you are a vibration. When you got good vibes, you feel that. And how do you change the vibes? Think good thoughts. Always look on the bright side of life. Or like when people have a birthday, usually the second thing I will send out to people, especially when they ask me, I'll send it first if they'd like, about happiness. It will have not only the list of many things on how to be happier, but it'll have a link to music, a song about happiness. And you want to move with it. Why? Because music helps create peace. That's why part of our Peace Lab has a wheel to it that deals with arts, music, visual arts, like this image that you see up in the corner. The image that you see in the corner is the image of the Peace Lab. It was done by Marcia Raff. She designed this peace symbol with a labyrinth behind it. And the labyrinth is a pathway in, and it's a circuitous pathway in to the center. And then you can go retrace your steps back out. It's only one path. By the time you get out of, especially the most powerful labyrinth, the Chartres labyrinth in the Cathedral of Notre Dame in Chartres, France, as you say. It's a beautiful place, but when you walk that, you feel like you've been to the Holy Land, where Moses was and communed with God, where Jesus was, where Muhammad joined Allah. Holy Land. We get to be able to create it to be open for everybody and peace there. If we can't create peace in the Holy Land, how can we create peace elsewhere? But guess what? If we're not peaceful within ourselves, doesn't matter if there's peace everywhere in the world. You're the one feeling crazy or feeling depressed. If you want to stop being depressed, serve others. When you serve others, you bring smiles to people's faces. You talk with them. We talk with them because we serve others. Look at what I'm doing. I could use a lot of money right now for my family. We get by just like so many people in this COVID time. But I'm using COVID time to change the world like I can change myself. This body is getting better. 4 out of our 6 in the house here in my home had COVID. They all got well. I didn't get it. Inshallah. But when you have all those good positive thoughts, when you ingest the right foods, if you can ingest the right foods, too many people are poisoning the land. I used to get stung by bees all the time when I was young. There were bees everywhere. I stepped on a bee once. That my foot swelled up because I was allergic to it. My foot swelled up like a balloon. You hardly see bees anymore, especially in the swarms. Same thing in the sky. I live in the San Fernando Valley, about 15 miles north of Los Angeles. The sky would be filled with clouds of birds in the autumn when the birds were coming back from a place called Canada. They were coming from Canada, going to Mexico or Latin America. They were flying down for the winter because it's warmer down there. Huge flocks of birds. No more than 20 birds in a flock. The last 20 years at least. It is getting less and less. Water used to be pure. We could drink it out of the rivers and streams because we have companies that poison the water. Because, oh, you got an insect bite? It helps you get immunity. It helps you get your immune system stronger. You can use natural things to keep the mosquitoes away. I lived in India. Monsoon season is now, and we used to have these little punks underneath our beds that would cover, the smoke would go above where you're sleeping and keep all the mosquitoes away from you. And of course, if you have a mosquito net, that helps too. But mosquitoes can get in all kinds of places. So you can be protected naturally. We don't have to use poisons. When we poison our food, we spray poisons for insects on our food, and it goes into the earth to let the roots absorb it. Vandana Shiva, watch some of her videos. We don't need to do that anymore. There's regenerative agriculture. That's part of the Peace Lab. If you're into agriculture, you're into gardening, what can't you do when you allow yourself to follow Allah, to follow God and His wisdom that is shown in His creation? We are part of His creation. We're not God's gift to the world. If we were, we would have pure air and pure water still. We have overpopulated. Is that a sin to overpopulate? Yeah, because we're doing that when we don't need to. We have not followed the Spirit's guidance. Like when we took wolves out of Yellowstone National Park, it was a predator. And we thought we're going to save the deer. Well, you saved a lot of deer and cattle on the outside of the park too. But guess what? The deer overpopulated ate all the grasses, which eroded the hillsides, which caused the trees to start disappearing too, and the erosion and the pollution in the rivers and so on. But when they brought the wolves back and everything got back into harmony, what happened? Things started to thrive. We can look at life in its fullness. That includes looking at death. Human beings, for some reason, are afraid of death. Why? We get to go be with God when we pass on this body. And if you don't believe that, we get to go to another adventure. If you believe your spirit continues. Doesn't matter what you believe, whether you're going to go to God or you don't believe in God and you're going to just be energy or you're going to be food for the plants. It doesn't have anything to, why fear it? Our media, our books teach us to fear this, fear that. Oh, fear these people. Yeah. That means the people who make the weapons can keep working and they'll make their billions, no matter if it's COVID or not. Why? Because I got to protect my country. I got to have more nuclear weapons, bigger and stronger. Well, we can already destroy the whole human race. So why do that? Why don't we use our senses? What does an eye for an eye get you? Everybody blind. That's how we've been living for thousands of years. Before the hierarchy, starting almost like with the pyramidal times, where there were pharaohs and there were slaves and there were everything in between, this step thing, where those are my bosses and I don't have any say in things. The best companies collaborate. When this guy Darwin said the survival of the fittest, people didn't read his whole story. They listened to what they wanted to in his story. When you read it, the survival of the fittest is not just the strongest or the biggest. It's the ones that collaborate and work together. And then when you look at a sports team, because I've worked with professional athletes all over the world, Olympians, world record holders, since 1982 when I started, actually before that, 1980. In 82, I started the Institute of Sports Psychology in India. It got into 5 offices around the world. I could go anywhere in the world and teach. The last big place I got to go to was my wife's school in South Africa, Witwatersrand University. What a fun time to do, to experience South Africa. It's an awesome place where humanity was born. Experience the beauty of life. Seek the wisdom of your own body. Know, I'm starting to get full. Stop. Put it away and eat the rest of it tomorrow. Fill your stomach half full with food, a quarter with water, and leave the rest for digestion. That's a yogic practice that when you follow it, you are healthier. When we follow it. Because there's times, usually around holiday times or at the end of Ramadan's fast of the day and so on, where we eat a lot. We have a propensity to do that. When we don't, it's actually better. Tune in to your own body. Tune in to the truth. I happen to be of the Sufi tradition. Sufis, many people don't know much about Sufis. They hear about them. When you meet a Sufi, it's a constant love affair. It's a constant feeling of being in tune, of listening more to God than to the news that only depresses you, or to somebody saying we should go to war. We were told to go down to Vietnam because North Vietnam was going to invade South Vietnam. Well, it's their country. Why are we there? More than 55,000 people died there, and millions maimed and hurt, and the millions that were killed by the Americans fighting that war. We had no business there. When we looked at the history of that war, America was lied to. Americans were lied to. And I hate to inform the people that went off and fought that war that they died or they were injured and their friends were injured and so on and so forth. It's a sick thing that happens when people don't look at life for love. When they look at life for control. When you look at life from fear. Why not simply open your heart? This heart is free. Let it be free. You won't have a box to live in. We won't have a box to live in. Because if you're in a box, I'm a little bit inhibited because I feel constrained. Why? This little me? Because I feel your tightness, your constraint. Imagine all these people that are being imprisoned, the Uyghurs in China, or all the people in America who are in prison because they smoked some stuff that were illegal and yet has never been proven to be harmful to this body. But it was, if you read Acid Dreams, the complete history of LSD, the 60s, and the CIA, you'll understand how governments control people through propaganda. We're offering the opposite for you to be able to think about it, for you to know the facts, for you to know, like, about this physiology of your body. When we know the truth about not poisoning our bodies through processed foods, through all of the unnatural things that we take, or the unnatural fibers you wear, this is not unnatural. This is cotton. And I would love it to have been made khadi, because khadi provides common people with their work, with a living. Khadi provides aeration so you don't perspire so much. When I first went to India in the early 70s, I wore khadi because it was so comfortable. America was wearing polyesters, most of America. And most of the Indians who could afford it were buying it to be cool and be like Americans. Yeah, I see the movies too. Yeah, Bollywood's cool, but American movies, yeah. And so on. It's a sick thing that we have to be able to try to think somebody else is better. Like, I would love to go to outer space. It would be great. It's one of my bucket lists. But I would rather have people fed here on the planet who need the food. I would rather have people get help for their mental condition than go to outer space. I would rather I wear basically my shoes out. My wife hates it because I have tears in my underwear. I don't replace it until it really wears out. Why? Because I simply live. I live simply so others can simply live. Now that's me. Everybody has their choices. I could live in a grand house. I stayed at Ramkrishna Bajaj's home. He had other homes in this city and that, but in Malabar Hill. He's a wonderful soul. Shekhar Bajaj is a wonderful soul. Everybody was living in that house, by the way, of course. And all of that is not needed. and the big cars. My car is so old, it gets by. We only have one car. And living in Los Angeles, having one car with 4 people in the house, 3 people in the house, is unusual. But what can we do? We can hear what may be better, and then we get to apply it. It's like this simple book. It's a real simple book. You'll find something in this book that works so well for you to make you feel better and be better and your family better and so on. Each of your family members may find something different that they work with instead of what you work with. But guess what? As you work with one and it works for you, you'll find that I'm going to try another. And then you even feel better and you act better and you were more successful. Because many athletes are national champions that applied what I have in here. World record holders. You could name almost every single sports player now that does yoga. I taught yoga and meditation since the mid-70s as part of my exercise program, as part of my development program. I also use Pythagoras' practice. Pythagoras' practice is in here. He's an ancient Greek. Of course, one of my majors at the University of Colorado was classics. So I got to study the best literature of the classical time period. And what do we get to do? We get to learn from the wisdom of the ages. I got to know a man named Manly P. Hall. Manly P. Hall started the Philosophical Research Society in Los Angeles. When I met him, he was in his 70s. And he had an amazing wife, too. She was from Germany. We used to go to his birthday parties and so on. He wrote a classic book called The Secret Teachings of All Ages. Fascinating book. It's like one of the presidents of India wrote a book about the inner faith. He wrote a book about all the religions' commonality. And when you read it, all the religions have, especially the golden rule. Treat others the way you would like to be treated. Actually, it's probably be better, treat others better than you'd like to be treated. And then what happens? You could be treated even better. So again, we focus on something better. We don't have to suffer in life. We can grow in life. When we catch ourselves getting out of that nice calm space that we're in now, and we get upset, don't go like that and say, ouch. Just say, ouch. Don't fire back at somebody as you get used to doing this. Say, ouch. And then you'll stop this upset in the tracks. Take a breath or two. But it's better to do peace in everything, everything with peace. 3 times, peace in everything, everything with peace. Peace in everything, everything with peace. You can do it inside your mind, but you can do the movements. Or if somebody's around, you don't have to do the movements, but do peace in everything, everything with peace with your breath. And then respond. It's the pause that refreshes a conversation. It's the pause that refreshes a conversation. Let's get fresh. We don't have to be stale. We can be fresh just by simple things. Now, when this makes sense to you, if any of it has made sense to you, we get to apply it in our life. That is wisdom. because otherwise it's just a intellectual gymnastics. It's just playing with your mind. You're just thinking about it. Experiment with life. That's why the Peace Lab is experimenting with peace. We're experimenting if this works, when that works, and in some places this works better than that, so we use that. When we're talking about economics, we give you 3 offerings. There's probably going to be more. Why? Because we are creative, especially when we collaborate. That's why you see this banner at the bottom. You can collaborate with the Peace Lab. You can offer your wisdom with the Peace Lab. And should you like anything that I've talked about, you can ask for that by contacting me through successsystemsinternational.net. Pretty simple. But again, the ball is in your park, as they say in America. The ball is in your court, as they say in Australia, because they're very good at tennis and everything. At least they used to be very good. They're not so much now, but boy, they really knocked it out the park. And they were great swimmers too. I mean, I love Australia. If I was moving to another country that's an English speaker, it's one of 2 countries. It's either Australia or New Zealand. And for me, New Zealand is the first, but Oz is there first really for me because I have family there. And it's such a beautiful, all countries are beautiful. And there's people everywhere in the world that are fine. But when you go to family, it's a lot easier to go to. And when you treat the world as your family, when we treat the world as our family, we get to have no problem. Like when I stayed at a family's home in Bombay once, because I was living out in an ashram in Ganeshpuri. And they put me up in their house, and they had family from another city, so they gave their bedroom up to that family, and they were sleeping on the floor because they gave me the couch because I'm their honored guest. Now, I sleep on floors anytime, anywhere. Not so easily now because I have had surgery on my back, and it was the biggest surgery you can have, pretty much. 4 discs replaced and 4 vertebrae fused and so on. That's why I don't walk as well as I used to. And I was an elite athlete at one time, but that's past. And I get to live now, but I'm still looking to be elite. Why elite? Only because that's a comparison. But being a human being, a true human being, the scientists are so egotistical. They named us Homo sapiens sapien. That means wise man. If we were so wise, we would not have had COVID. If we were so wise, we would not have allowed it to spread so much. If we were so wise, we would allow people choice. There's still going to be herd immunity. God gave us free will. People can choose to have the vaccine or not. But if they don't have the vaccine, everybody should still be wearing masks. I don't care if you're vaccinated or not. Do you want to still get some sickness? It's prevented people from getting the regular flu. There's been less incidences of the regular flu than just about history because of wearing masks. Doesn't hurt you when you have a proper mask. If you live where I do, I have some land around me. I am blessed with that, but I take care of it because it is Tongva land of our ancestors, the Tongva, and it is God's gift. It is Gaia. If we don't take care of God's gift, where are we going to live? Where will you live when we have overpopulation? Because you want to make love every day. Making love like this is so much more powerful. You can learn to channel that sexual energy through using some tantric practices, from using things. There's a guy who teaches a microcosmic orbit. His name is Mantak Chia. You can experiment with that. To cycle that energy that is so powerful it can create a human being. Cycle it up into for your meditation practices. Imagine what your meditation practices would be like when you use all that incredible energy to fuel the experience of merging with God. Experiencing the oneness. The joy. You can't describe it. That being. No nada even. No sound. Just bliss. Just that. We'll call it a cosmic vibration for people who don't believe in God. Imagine feeling, according to people, Pythagoras could feel the vibrations of other planets and further. Can we be that sensitive? I knew a man who had a siddhi. His name was Swami Nada Brahmananda. In 1974, I met him in Los Angeles. He was a music master, Nada Brahmananda. He came from Rishikesh, Shivananda's ashram there. He was teaching tablas. He was teaching harmonium. He was a music master. He was also somebody who was a bogi, but he had siddhis. I found out about his boginess later. But he got into the Neurolinguistic Institute at UCLA. Neuropsychiatry Institute at UCLA. A friend of mine was a professor there and the head of it. Dr. Kennedy was his name, Ray Kennedy. They put him in an airtight container with his tablas and 2 images of Shiva and a candle. And he started playing the tablas. When the candle went out, showing not enough oxygen, he was playing the tablas, good, as they say in America, licks on the tablas. And he even put his thumbs together and played then he played with one hand and then he played, regular and so on. He was playing really, really nice ragas. Over 30 minutes, he was in that airtight container after the candle had gone out. He had done kumbhak, retention of the breath. But still, how could he hold his breath for half an hour? It's a siddhi. It's a supernatural power. Is it supernatural? No, it's natural, but we have not tapped into it because of the things that we get distracted by humanity's stuff. Some people in America have sheds filled with stuff. I know, because I do, and I'm giving it away. Getting rid of stuff, giving it to the poor. I got a bike in my backyard, it's going to get gone. I just realized this right now. Some people are slow learners, but at least we learn. And that's the beauty of it. We don't have to say, oh, darn, I forgot. Well, if you want to forget more, keep on saying, I forget. Or don't forget. What do you want to do? I remember. Would you remember? Remember this. And then you speak positively and you get more positive response. When you say a person's name immediately, Rahim hears his voice and his blood sugar goes up. When somebody mentions your name, especially when they mention your name and they're on a talk like this, and they mention Fatima's blood sugar goes up. Doesn't show because we can only see so much because she has her hijab on. She follows the tradition. Everybody has their choice. Follow wearing hijab. If it's your choice not to, you don't. Sometimes I miss 5 times a day. We get to do it next. We get to remember. We get to be the blessing that we were made to be. If you don't believe in God, doesn't matter. You can still be the example for somebody that you would like to follow in your footsteps. Children look at their parents as examples. The first teachers of children are their parents. It establishes them the first 5 years of their life, the most impressive years of their life. There's a book called Nurturing with Love and Wisdom, Disciplining with Peace and Respect, Mindful Parenting. Diane Tillman wrote that book. Diane Tillman, for me, she's a saint. I totally believe that. She's written some amazing books so people can have values come alive in their life. Come alive. Why? Because all those values that everybody respects, like respect and responsibility and compassion and all those nice things, they're all inside you. And they get to come alive by doing the simple things that she has in those books. The Living Values Education Program. They give free instruction to teachers to teach easily, bring it into their classrooms. Go online, livingvalues.net. And you might see that I rock my body a little bit and I move. Why? This body was not created to sit still for so long. So if I'm sitting in your presence, I'm going to move. No disrespect. I was always moving in the back of the room and when I was young, looking out the window because there were birds flying around or something like that. I was one of those students. I learned what I needed to learn, and when my second grade teacher says, "You're stupid in math," she was my teacher. I believed her. I never tried in math. So did I get good grades? No. I got by. The impression that each person makes can be good or bad. That's why I tell all my students, even the nice lady that was on yesterday, for Christina from Mexico, I called her Viejita, and she's only 42. And she's a beautiful lady, golden heart. And she responded in a way that it's like she didn't hear me. She thought I said mi hijita, which is like my little old one, or my little one. And I always called my middle school students viejitos, which means little old ones, whether they were a boy or a girl. If it was the class, it was viejitos. If it was a girl, let's say viejita. If it was a boy, it was viejito. That's how you speak in Spanish to certain genders. And they would say, "No, you are." And then they would get the response. I said, "You know, when you were 3 years old, you looked up at somebody your age now, 14, and you thought they were old." And they nodded their head. And I said, "That's Kruger's theory of relativity. Einstein had his, I got mine. And then I have to explain about Einstein because they didn't know about Einstein. So I get to play with people in a physical education class with science, with math, with words like adios. Everybody says adios means goodbye. Yeah, it's become that. Adios means in Spanish, to God. If you believe God is omnipresent, it's the only place you can go. If you don't believe in God, inshallah, God still loves you. If there is a God. Again, it's if. Do we know it for sure? We only take the book for its word. If we looked at another book, we might believe that book. Just like people believed that the sun circled around the earth, and that's why it came up and went down, came up and went down. Some people were punished, locked in their room, so to speak, by the Catholic Church because he said, we go around the sun. Then they found out something different. There's even more out there than just the sun and the planets. There's galaxies and so on and so forth. Do we know anything about other dimensions? Some people do. Are there wormholes? Maybe. We haven't found them yet. Or we still haven't found peace yet. So which would you rather have, going off into space or finding peace on our planet? So we have to leave to get some peace. Or how to have peace in everything and everything with peace by doing what we need to do. We have our work cut out for us, but don't think of it as work. It's play. Muktananda, my teacher, you might see him in the corner of the picture. He, from Ganeshpuri, he said, see God in each other. Know that God dwells within you as you. When you do that, you're living in heaven. And you can create that for others. All it takes is a little practice, a little openness, a little experimentation. You can experiment with peace in everything, everything with peace. You can experiment with your life. It's your choice. Because, as Vashishta, the guru of Rama, said to Rama before he took over his kingdom, what is your highest teaching, O Guru? Vashishta said, the world is as you see it. So if you see it one way, it becomes that. It becomes one of fear, or it becomes one where it's getting better. And that's all it takes. A little bit better. A little bit better. It's like if you were in a prison and you were trying to get out. I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer to freedom. You got to do the work to get free. And it's the prison of our own making. Nisargadatta of Bombay, he was a little bidiwala. Little bidiwala, guy who's so poor. Had thousands of people listening to him with his wisdom. They came from all over the world. Why? How? How did they know about him? Because that pure, beautiful energy attracted people. David Bohm was attracted to Krishnamurti. David Bohm, this famous physicist, the successor of Einstein. There's a great movie, Infinite Potential, about that. Infinite Potential is about David Bohm's life and how he came up with so many things. It's like when you read a book called How Hippies Saved Physics. I read that at the same time I read Acid Dreams. It's a fascinating 2 books. And that's just exploring life. And the best way to do books, especially things like the Ramayana or all these myths, is to listen to them, like some of the stories of the Native Americans sitting around a campfire. And when you know the images that they use, the coyote has a special image, just like monkeys have special images for some people in India, and so on. When we know the images, meaning, what they symbolize, and you sit around this campfire listening to the story, you make up that story in your mind at the level you can hear it. So you don't see violence like an adult would make if you're too young. In listening to the Mahabharata, this great war, we get to be able to experience listening and imbibing, because the ears need to be in tune for full communication. It's both ways. The listening, the being with that pure calmness, the peace in everything with peace. And I love you. Be happy and serve others. I bid you adieu. Adios.